Graduates and guests, will you please rise for the academic procession? The candidates for doctoral degrees from the Graduate College have gathered to celebrate commencement. These proceedings are hereby called to order. I now welcome Dean Amanda Tyne of the Graduate College to the podium to begin our ceremony. Please be seated.
Hello and welcome. My name is Amanda Tyne, and I'm the Associate Provost for Graduate and Professional Education and Dean of the Graduate College. I would like to take this moment to invite graduates and guests to turn to the arena monitors to view a short video. Let's share a moment in celebrating Iowa.
I knew that I wanted to become a speech-language pathologist, and Iowa has one of the top programs in the nation.
I was looking for an MBA that was highly regarded and credible, but also online.
Everything that I wanted to do, I could accomplish here.
I really wanted to feel incorporated with downtown life and on campus.
I think being a Hawkeye to me means being a part of a greater whole, but it also means your family.
Everyone here is so creative and talented.
You're going to be able to find support, you're going to be able to find mentorship.
Our professors really care about us, and they really go the extra mile.
You just get to see how much the professors care about the topic and how much they care about their students.
For me, it's family, it's community, it's the Iowa Wave, Caitlin Clark.
Here comes Clark. How will she go for history?
My earliest memory was going to an Iowa football game.
The Penn State-Iowa game, where we knocked off Penn State. That's probably my favorite. Oh my gosh, that was so fun.
Coming to Iowa has allowed me to pursue projects bigger and far more complex than I would have at any other university.
I was able to take those experiences that I had during rotations and apply those to different clinical cases that I had during interviews.
There's something so magical about the University of Iowa. Everyone that you'll meet is willing to talk to you, everyone's willing to help you, and everyone really just kind of wants to see the best for you.
I want to thank my wife and the rest of my family. I started the Iowa MBA program with twin 2-year-olds and a 3-year-old.
Thank you to my wife. You have stood by me through the ups and downs, and this time of completing these degrees is as much a testament to your work and your support as it is to any effort that I put in, and I am so thankful.
I get emotional talking about it.
I'm a first-generation student, so my parents made a lot of sacrifices for me to go to college, and so I really appreciate them.
Thank you so much to my son who continues to support me in every way possible, and also to Lydia. I wouldn't be where I am today without your love and support.
Thank you so much to the faculty and other mentors here on campus who helped shape me as an artist and shape my professional career.
You guys mean more to me than you will ever know, and I cherish you all and love you all very deeply.
On behalf of my colleagues, I'm delighted to greet all of you who've gathered here today to celebrate this important occasion. Graduates, I know it's been a long road. You have persisted through the highs and lows that come with earning a doctoral degree. This is a truly phenomenal accomplishment that should make you very proud. I'm so excited to be able to participate in this ceremony with you today, one that marks a very special and significant moment in your lives. I know I speak on behalf of so many of my colleagues at the University of Iowa when I say that we can't wait to see what you'll do next. We know you'll take all that you've learned with you as you go out into the world and do great things. You are our best and our brightest. We are counting on you because the future of our country and the international community to which many of you belong depends to a large extent on your knowledge and expertise to help solve local and global problems today and into the future. We depend on you because we know the critical role you will play in advancing future knowledge, innovation, economic development, arts, healthcare, and education, to name just a few areas where you have expertise. And perhaps most importantly, we are relying on you to be leaders in the kind of critical thinking that fosters complex problem solving and a path toward global understanding. The accomplishments of your graduate careers that have come to fruition today have prepared you to move forward to face the opportunities and challenges the future holds with newfound confidence and perseverance. Friends and family, I am happy you are here as well. You've encouraged and supported these graduates through the exciting but often stressful process of earning a doctoral degree. Your devotion to them is so important, and we are pleased that you're able to help us celebrate. Before we begin the formal ceremony, I'd like to pause to recognize a few individuals sharing in this experience today. Ahead of the ceremony, we've enjoyed music from the Iowa Brass Quintet. Members of the quintet are Dr. Jonathan Allen, Professor John Manning, Keely Cruz, Kevin Sells, and Ryan Banks. Thank you for sharing your talents with us today. Heads Up Communication will serve as the American Sign Language interpreters for our ceremony. They will be interpreting most portions of the event, but because of the number of graduates, they will not sign graduates' names. I would also like to introduce you to my colleagues on stage who are here to help us celebrate. I would request that each of you stand when introduced. First, I am thrilled to have President Barbara Wilson on hand to assist me in the conferral of degrees. In addition, I'd like to recognize collegiate leadership on the stage. Clark Stanford, Dean, College of Dentistry. Julie Zerwick, Dean, College of Nursing. H.S. Uday Kumar, Associate Dean, College of Engineering. Christine Getz, Associate Dean, College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. Diane Rollman, Associate Dean, College of Public Health. Shelley Campo, Associate Dean, Graduate College. Nick Street, Associate Dean, Tippie College of Business. David Roman, Associate Dean, College of Pharmacy. Dan Trinnell, Associate Dean, Carver College of Medicine. Leah Plackens, Departmental Executive Officer of Teaching and Learning, College of Education. Russ Scannam, Associate Provost and Dean, International Programs. And Teresa Mangum, Director of the Obermann Center for Advanced Studies. We are also pleased to have several faculty members acting as marshals for today's ceremony. Megan Foley-Nickpon, Director of the Bellum Blank Center and Professor of Counseling Psychology. Ted Abel, Director of the Iowa Neuroscience Institute and Chair of the Department of Neuroscience and Pharmacology. Finally, if I could ask all of the graduate faculty seated amongst our students to please rise, we would like to recognize you for your dedication to our students and for your participation today. Thank you. It's now my pleasure to ask alumna Dr. Tawny Tibbetts to say a few words. Dr. Tibbetts earned a Bachelor of Arts and a Bachelor of Science from the University of Iowa in 2009, and a Doctor of Philosophy in Geoscience in 2016. She now serves as an Associate Director in the Office of Undergraduate Research. After we hear from Dr. Tibbetts, we will confer degrees. Welcome, Dr. Tibbetts.
Thank you. I'm so proud and honored to join you today at your commencement. It's overwhelming to stand before you now, when not that long ago, I was sitting where you are, filled with anxiety, possibility, and excitement. You're all probably feeling some of those emotions right now, plus maybe a few others. My story begins in Iowa, surrounded by fossils and farms. I love history and the outdoors, so it only seems logical that I ended up studying geology and archaeology, blending these two passions into my doctorate from Iowa from the Department of Earth and Environmental Sciences. My time at UI shaped who I am today and gave me the latitude to create my own future, develop my own research project combining geochemistry and archaeology to study groundstone tool production and exchange among the ancient Maya of Belize. My wonderful network of advisors, mentors, graduate school friends, and the other amazing people I met along the way were always ready to help with letters of recommendation, interview prep, and maybe most importantly, to lend an ear when I needed it. Their support continued as I created a career path that worked for me, which began with a faculty position by the beaches of South Florida, moved to the high plains of Nebraska, and now led me happily back home to the cornfields of Iowa in my new administrative role, supporting and mentoring undergraduates in the Office of Undergraduate Research. My time away from Iowa helped me realize just how lucky I am to have been a part of this university, to have come from a place with such an incredible sense of community, where together we achieve more than we can as individuals. The bedrock foundations I built here, the foundations you have built here, will last a lifetime. They will be a source of comfort, guidance, and support as you navigate the world. You will always have your mentors to call upon, but the fun part comes next. You get to become a mentor and lay the foundations for others to build upon. That's been the most rewarding part of my career, helping others around me achieve their goals and being there when they needed me. Your foundation here does not evaporate as roles change and people move. You will always have your Iowa community. Remember to call on us when you need us, when you need help, or you just need to recharge. Remember to be the helping hand for friends you leave behind as you graduate today. Help them as they enter the postgraduate world. Help them by passing on the knowledge, connections, and values you developed here. And remember to come back and visit, because no matter what comes your way, you will always be a Hawkeye. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tibbetts. The candidates for doctoral degrees will now be recognized and inducted into the Academy of Learned People who have demonstrated the highest level of achievement, independent scholarship, and creativity in their chosen disciplines. As students are introduced, faculty members will perform a hooding ceremony. Where possible, the dissertation advisor or collegiate representative will assist in performing this rite of passage. A hood will be added to the gown each candidate is wearing. This completes their academic regalia. The University of Iowa hoods are black and gold, trimmed in colors representing the degrees conferred. Rhodes blue for the Doctor of Audiology, light blue for the Doctor of Education, pink for the Doctor of Musical Arts, apricot for the Doctor of Nursing Practice, and blue for the Doctor of Philosophy, teal for the Doctor of Physical Therapy. And now we come to the most important part of the program, the moment when we recognize each degree recipient. As I mentioned earlier, I am joined today by President Wilson, who will assist in the conferral of degrees. As we move through the ceremony, in order that each graduate's name may be clearly heard, please hold your applause until all of the doctoral graduates have been introduced. Then we will give everyone a full round of applause. After the ceremony concludes, we would also appreciate it if everyone would remain in their seats until the end of the recessional. Graduates, President Wilson and I are happy to shake hands with those who are comfortable. We also welcome an elbow bump, a thumbs up, or a nod of offered congratulations. We will follow your lead with whatever seems right to you. I now invite President Wilson to come forward. President Wilson, these candidates have completed all of the requirements for the degrees Doctor of Audiology, Doctor of Education, Doctor of Musical Arts, Doctor of Nursing Practice, Doctor of Philosophy, and Doctor of Physical Therapy.
Thank you, Dean Tyne. On recommendation of the faculty of the Graduate College and by the authority vested in me by the Iowa Board of Regents, I confer on each of you the degree Doctor of Audiology, Doctor of Education, Doctor of Musical Arts, Doctor of Nursing Practice, Doctor of Philosophy, and Doctor of Physical Therapy as qualified and designated. Congratulations.
Thank you, President Wilson. Would the doctoral degree recipients please come forward to be recognized?
Right. I'll just take the cards and I can hand them to you. Yep. Okay. Thanks. Jinli Young, PhD, Integrated Biology, hooded by Ted Abel. Lindsay Faye Snyder, PhD, Genetics, hooded by Ted Abel. Jan van Robees, PhD, Genetics, hooded by Ted Abel. Huang Nam Le, PhD, Electrical and Computer Engineering, hooded by Fatima Tour. Daniel William Keefe, PhD, Electrical and Computer Engineering, hooded by Fatima Tour. Westerlin Yardley Butterfield, PhD, Educational Policy and Leadership Studies, hooded by Sherry K. Watt. Cole Dennison, PhD, Educational Policy and Leadership Studies, hooded by Catherine Broughton. Mary Rose Duckworth, Doctor of Education, hooded by Catherine Broughton. Teresa Adelia Kirkman, Doctor of Education, hooded by Mark Hopkins. Emily Ann Dvorak, Doctor of Education, hooded by Mark Hopkins. Melissa A. Murphy, Doctor of Education, hooded by Mark Hopkins. Jason Thomas Rhine, Doctor of Education, hooded by Brooke Strawn Kohler. I won't. I'll get it right. Andrew Aaron Wirtz, Doctor of Education, hooded by Liz Hollingworth. Julie Jean Trepa, Doctor of Education, hooded by Liz Hollingworth. Lee Hamilton Nida, PhD, Educational Policy and Leadership Studies, hooded by Katrina Sanders. Priyanka Dubey, PhD, Community and Behavioral Health, hooded by Rima Afifi. Cynthia Fabino Maharani, PhD, Occupational and Environmental Health, hooded by Diane Rollman. Wuji Huang, PhD, Mechanical Engineering, hooded by Hong Tao Ding. Jun Chao Li, PhD, Mechanical Engineering, hooded by Xiaoping Xiao. Koli Eko, PhD, Occupational and Environmental Health, hooded by Peter Thorne. Ling Tong, PhD, Business Administration, hooded by Patrick Fan. Chungwei Huang, PhD, Business Administration, hooded by Patrick Fan. Jun Ho Yoon, PhD, Business Administration, hooded by Nick Street. Cassandra Grieger, PhD, Psychological and Quantitative Foundations, hooded by Jonathan Templin. Mingying Zheng, PhD, Psychological and Quantitative Foundations, hooded by Jonathan Templin. Alfonso Jose Martinez, PhD, Psychological and Quantitative Foundations, hooded by Jonathan Templin. Juan Liu, PhD, Psychological and Quantitative Foundations, hooded by Won-Chan Lee. Jing Ma, PhD, Psychological and Quantitative Foundations, hooded by Stephen Dunbar. Shi Huang, PhD, Psychological and Quantitative Foundations, hooded by Catherine Welch. Yen T. Huang Fu, PhD, Psychological and Quantitative Foundations, hooded by Catherine Welch. Laura Bennett, PhD, Biomedical Engineering, hooded by Ryan Flynn. Rivarashi Masocha, PhD, History, hooded by James Giblin. Andrew Parayil Bogi, PhD, Communication Studies, hooded by Jian Kang. Berkeley Don Connor, PhD, Communication Studies, hooded by E. Crown. Morgan Di Cesare, PhD, Communication Studies, hooded by E. Crom. Coco Gamya, PhD, French and Francophone World Studies, hooded by Roxana Curto. Ryan Wendland, PhD, Biomedical Engineering, hooded by Kristen Worthington. Michael Swafford, PhD, Mechanical Engineering, hooded by Casey Harwood. Emily Rogers, PhD, Philosophy, hooded by Kratina Perovic. Ashley Plum, PhD, Neuroscience, hooded by Kathleen A. Sluka. Margaret Fuller, MD, PhD, Medicine, Molecular Physiology, and Biophysics, hooded by John Wemme. Jordan Johnson, PhD, Immunology, hooded by Noah Butler. Elvia Elizabeth Silva, Immunology, PhD, hooded by Noah Butler. Haley Vaughn, PhD, Genetics, hooded by Benjamin Darbrough. Colin Robert Brown, PhD, Physics, hooded by Gregory Howes. Jayasri Joseph, PhD, Physics, hooded by Gregory Howes. Yue Chen, PhD, Teaching and Learning, hooded by Leah Plakens. Susanna, PhD, Teaching and Learning, hooded by Leah Plakens. Fafa Galelian, PhD, Industrial Engineering, hooded by David Nemhart. Christopher Benjamin Clough Hunter, PhD, Interdisciplinary Studies, hooded by Nick Street and Amanda Tai. Flannery Curran, PhD, Computer Science, hooded by Juan Pablo Orcad. Tracy Morgan Saunders, PhD, Political Science, hooded by Frederick Bemke. Yao Yao, PhD, Applied Mathematical and Computational Sciences, hooded by Shihang Lin. Jing Chao Gao, PhD, Applied Mathematical and Computational Sciences, hooded by Nick Street. Inky Park, PhD, Psychology, hooded by Paul Wincheadle. Wei Dong Chang, PhD, Political Science, hooded by Sarah Mitchell. Cassandra Olmsted, PhD, Psychological and Quantitative Foundations, hooded by Kathy Hsu. Olesya Alexandrovna Hubrik, PhD, Second Language Acquisition, hooded by Kathy Hsu. Sapir Rudini, PhD, Business Administration, hooded by John Garfinkel. Jung Yul Kim, PhD, Business Administration, hooded by Dane Donaldson. Nathan Andrew Black, PhD, Business Administration, hooded by Jennifer Nargan. Upti Nasir K. Ali, PhD, Health Services and Policy, hooded by George Webby. Sang Hee Kim, PhD, Business Administration, hooded by Thomas Kruka. Abimbola Oladayo, PhD, Oral Science, hooded by Aziz Boutali. Caitlin Lindgren Hansen, PhD, Religious Studies, hooded by Diana Cates. Zhou Yayan Li, PhD, Civil and Environmental Engineering, hooded by Ibrahim Demir. Andrea Sanchez Peña, PhD, Microbiology, hooded by Nick Street. Caitlin Yarrington, PhD, Biomedical Science, hooded by Dominique Limoli. Brianna Steyert, PhD, Microbiology, hooded by Mary Weber. Shay Lowry, PhD, Biomedical Science, hooded by Stanley Perlman. Camilla Elizabeth Hippie, PhD, Biomedical Science, hooded by Patrick Sin. Laura Lynn Amanda Durnell, PhD, Biomedical Science, hooded by Patrick Sin. Shayna Harris, PhD, Psychology, hooded by Daniel Trinnell. Jenna Lauren Adamowitz, PhD, Psychology, hooded by Emily Brenny Kroska Thomas. Brendan Mark Whitney, PhD, Psychology, hooded by Emily Thomas. Cole Tuvey, PhD, Psychology, hooded by Natalie Denberg. Meng Tu, PhD, Informatics, hooded by Jun Huang. Paraskevi Konstantina Zoga, PhD, Chemical and Biochemical Engineering, hooded by Eric Nuxall. Brianna Gredeman, PhD, Epidemiology, hooded by Mary Charlton. Abhismithma Ramesha, PhD, Epidemiology, hooded by Jonathan Platt. Ji-Hei Lee, PhD, Nursing, hooded by Sandra Dack Hirsch. Jaewon Bae, PhD, Nursing, hooded by Sue Gardner. Lynn Nakad, PhD, Nursing, hooded by Barbara Ann Rakel. Ryan Reuben Horn, PhD, Chemical and Biochemical Engineering, hooded by C. Allen Guyman. Meng Liu, Doctor of Musical Arts, hooded by Matthew Arndt. Wen Chin Liu, Doctor of Musical Arts, hooded by Trevor Harvey. Kristen Ramsire, Doctor of Musical Arts, hooded by Trevor Harvey. Michael Sauer, Doctor of Musical Arts, hooded by Trevor Harvey. Annie Burkhart, PhD, English, hooded by Florence Boos. Maria Capecchi, PhD, English, hooded by Blaine Gredeman. Matthew Helm, PhD, English, hooded by Blaine Gredeman. Thank you. Luciana Claudia Hontila, Doctor of Musical Arts, hooded by Catherine Wolf. Fatima Celine Aisatu Gassama, Doctor of Musical Arts, hooded by Christine Marion Rutledge Russell. Gregory Roland Evans, PhD, Music, hooded by David Gomper. Zachary S. Meyer, PhD, Music, hooded by David Gomper. Yi Shun Tong, Doctor of Musical Arts, hooded by David Gomper. Ramin Rochandel, PhD, Music, hooded by David Gomper. Dana Michelle Wickwire Cheek, PhD, Social Work, hooded by Miriam Landsman. Megan Ronenberg, PhD, Social Work, hooded by Aislinn Conrad. Emma Denny, PhD, Music, hooded by Danielle Crawford. Brian Philip Rang, PhD, Psychological and Quantitative Foundations, hooded by Jacob Priest. Ariana Elizabeth Edvinson, Doctor of Musical Arts, hooded by Richard Heidel. Kara Metzger, Doctor of Musical Arts, hooded by Richard Heidel. Nomi Lee, PhD, Counselor Education, hooded by David Dias. Victoria Seema Maniv, PhD, Counselor Education, hooded by David Dias.
Jung Wee Hong, PhD, Counseling Psychology, hooded by Megan Foley Nippon. Ye Ji Sun, PhD, Counseling Psychology, hooded by Megan Foley Nippon. Emily Shearer, PhD, Counseling Psychology, hooded by Megan Foley Nippon. Haylin Chiang, PhD, Counseling Psychology, hooded by Megan Foley Nippon. Jesus Manuel Pichardo, PhD, Counseling Psychology, hooded by Megan Foley Nippon. Jennifer Peters, DNP, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Emily Sinwell. Courtney Mitten, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Emily Sinwell. Lorraine Chittister, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Daniel Wiesman. Shelley Menard, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Daniel Wiesman. Weston Beats, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Daniel Woosman. Mary Claire Kathleen Wunderlich, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Daniel Weisman. Catherine Ann Heinz Erickson, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Larry Newman. Janae Lee Lindsay, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Larry Newman. Emily McDonald, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Larry Newman. Thanks. Molly Brecht, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Larry Newman. Alex Lynn DeVore, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Larry Newman. Thank you. Courtney McIntyre, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Barbara St. Marie. Thanks. Courtney Martin, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Barbara St. Marie. Chelsea Ratchford, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Tess Judge Ellis. Amanda Naraki Parrott, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Daniel Crawford. Thanks. Logan Renee Kiche, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Daniel Crawford. Emily Pitts, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Daniel Crawford. Thanks. Erin Elizabeth Mitchell, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Daniel Crawford. Katie Jean Wick, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Daniel Crawford. Megan Kinnitz, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Jody Bloxam. Jennifer Ray Neiman, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Jody Bloxam. Alyssa Claywhite, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Amalia Gedney Lowe's. Caitlin Jo Alostats, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Amelia Gedney Lowe's. Teresa Whitaker, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Amelia Gedney Lowe's. Ryan Matthew Falks, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Amelia Gedney Lowes. Richie Amor Cardwell, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Amalia Gedney Lowes. Sherry Leach, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Amalia Gedney Lowes. Kelsey Renee Kareem, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Lisa Segre. Natalie Zimmerman, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Ann Welton. Mackenzie Nicole Nuss, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Ann Welton. Mallory Ann Richardson, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Ann Welton. Malia Del Crum, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Ann Welton. Marissa Amadon, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Ann Welton. Jason Wade McWhorter, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Julie Stanek Hutt. J.C. Bowers, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Julie Stanek Hutt. Emily Oxley, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Heather Dunn. Lucille Mae Johnston, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Heather Dunn. Katie Buchheit, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Heather Dunn. Thanks. Brianna Sims, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Heather Dunn. Brittany Debb, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Heather Dunn. Selena Rose Sampson, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Heather Dunn. Michaela Christine Kennedy, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Dana Fowler. Jacob Vermeer, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Emily Ford. Molly Jordan Thomas, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Emily Ford. Jaehoon Jeong, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Emily Ford. Jeff Artioli, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Heather Bayer. Anna Henningsen, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Heather Bayer. Brittany Christine Dimmer, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Cormac O'Sullivan. Carter Revick, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Cormac O'Sullivan. Kelsey Wood, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Cormac O'Sullivan. Anne Marie Manganaro, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Cormac O'Sullivan. Justin Maverick Thornburg, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Kathleen Fear. Jordan Young Gidry, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Kathleen Fear. John Michael Wells, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Kathleen Fear. Joel Matthew Moore, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Lyndall Joseph. Lauren Elizabeth Schoonover, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Patricia Groves. Betty Arlene Mallon, Doctor of Nursing Practice, hooded by Harley Buck. Yujia Liu, PhD Sociology, hooded by Allison J. Bianchi. Hyunsik John, PhD Sociology, hooded by Michael Sauter. Abhishekta Godithi, PhD, Integrated Biology. Matthew Sterling Emerson, PhD, Chemistry, hooded by Claudio Javier Margulis. Colleen Barbara Lazar, PhD, Chemistry, hooded by Jonna Leddy, Scott Shaw. Andrea Van Wyck, PhD, Chemistry, hooded by Renee Cole and Scott Shaw. Hannah Therese Ninning, PhD Chemistry, hooded by Renee Cole. Emily Campbell, PhD in Chemistry, hooded by James Shepard. Mohammed Fajab Ali Chowdhury, PhD Biomedical Engineering, hooded by Joseph Reinhardt. Adam Galoy, PhD Biomedical Engineering, hooded by Suresh Raghavan. Natasha Daineshkar, PhD Medical Science, hooded by Chad Gruder. Thanks. Horlajde Owalabi Fadare, PhD Pharmacy, hooded by Matthew Wittry. Jackie Jevior, PhD, Health and Human Physiology, hooded by Karen Whitaker. Colin Gimblett, PhD, Health and Human Physiology, hooded by Gary Pierce. Oops. Rachel Nicole Larson, PhD Geography, hooded by Heather Sander. Riley James Leonard, PhD Biomedical Science, hooded by Brad Ament. Sierra Boyer, PhD Biomedical Science, hooded by Samuel Stevens. Kristen Elizabeth Rowley, PhD Genetics, hooded by Samuel Stevens. Wade Robert Gutierrez, PhD Biomedical Science, hooded by Rebecca Dodd. Emma Kraushaw, PhD Biomedical Science, hooded by David Gorton. Miat Thenza Oing, PhD Art History, hooded by Brenda Longfellow. Jimin Kim, PhD Industrial Engineering, hooded by Daniel McGeehee. Kellyanne Reniger, PhD Integrated Biology, hooded by Qilian Cheng. Kayla Marie Howerton, PhD Speech and Hearing Science, hooded by In-Young Choi. Leah Nicole Gibbs, Doctor of Audiology, hooded by In-Young Choi. Olivia Adamson, Doctor of Audiology, hooded by In Young Choi. Samuel Glenn Smith, Doctor of Audiology, hooded by In Young Choi. Victoria Robinson, Doctor of Audiology, hooded by In Young Choi. Xingji Adelaide Bach, Doctor of Audiology, hooded by In Young Choi. Neha Paranjape, PhD, Human Toxicology, hooded by Jonathan Dorn. Ron Huo, PhD, Pharmacy, hooded by Ethan Anderson. Yin Su, PhD, Pharmacy, hooded by Aligur Sulim. Joshua Wilkinson, PhD, Pharmacy, hooded by David Roman. Tara Lynn Hicks, PhD, Integrated Biology. Max Sampson, PhD, Statistics. Kung-Sik Chan, hooded by, sorry. Aaron Walker Post, PhD, Statistics, hooded by Asin Tian. Riley Aaron Post, PhD, Civil and Environmental Engineering, hooded by Vitol Krajewski. Joseph Sauter, PhD, Mathematics, hooded by Bruce Ayati and Ryan Kinzer. Zachary Brighton, PhD, Mathematics, hooded by Isabel Darcy. Rebecca Carol Sorsen, PhD, Mathematics, hooded by Keiko Kawamuro. Brianna K. Guppy, PhD, Applied Mathematical and Computational Sciences, hooded by Colleen Mitchell. Nak Anfan, PhD, Mathematics, hooded by Colleen Mitchell. David Scott Haas, PhD, Music, hooded by Jeremy Maternock. Eric Ankwi Akuoro, PhD, Teaching and Learning, hooded by Brian Hand. Ryan Pello, PhD, Integrated Biology, hooded by Joseph Comeron. Camille Haynes, PhD, Neuroscience, hooded by Joshua Weiner. Bess Glickman, PhD, Neuroscience, hooded by Ryan Lalumiere. PhD, Parker Abbott, PhD in Neuroscience, hooded by Crystal Parker. Sarah Sells Francisco Lubke, PhD, Business Administration, hooded by Kathy Cole and Chelsea Galloni. Megan McCabe, PhD, Biostatistics, hooded by Eamon Beeman and Chris Coffey. Annika Adrian Helverson, PhD, Biostatistics, hooded by Grant Brown. Han T. Duct Pham, PhD, Biostatistics, hooded by Daniel Sewell. Franklin Matangi, PhD, Mass Communication, hooded by Melissa Tully and Kate Magsamen Conrad. Patrick Johnson, PhD, Mass Communication, hooded by Melissa Tully. Catherine Biddle, PhD, Mass Communication, hooded by Brian Eckdale. Michael Scott Davis, PhD, Mass Communication, hooded by Brian Eckdale. Matthew Griffin, PhD, Communication Studies, hooded by Timothy Havens. Mir Ashfaquzzaman, PhD, Mass Communication, hooded by Sujatha Sosale. Congratulations to all the graduates.
Congratulations, everyone. Some of you have great cheering committees out there. It is now my pleasure to ask one of our newly minted doctors, Mary Claire Wunderlich, who's just received the Doctor of Nursing Practice, to give the graduate address. Following Mary Claire's address, President Wilson will give a send-off to conclude the ceremony. After President Wilson's closing remarks, we would appreciate it if everyone would remain in their seats until the end of the recessional. Again, my sincere congratulations to you, Mary Claire, and to all of your fellow graduates.
Good evening. It is such a pleasure to be here with all of you tonight. Tonight is a celebration, but not only is it a celebration, I hope it is also a reflection for each of you. To begin, I'd like to tell you about someone named Angela Duckworth. She is a best-selling author and a gifted researcher. When interviewed about her work and what she had learned, she stated, "What matters most in life is sticking with things and working daily to get better at them." Graduate education, and more specifically at the doctoral level, is no exception to that. But whether having taken on the challenge of graduate education or not, I believe we can all find commonality in this concept. A significant goal that requires daily commitment and a high level of consistency to reach. For the fitness lovers in the room, it may have been a race to train for, many miles and hours spent preparing for race day. Or for the parents in the room, the task of raising young children. Sleepless nights and long days, all committed to giving your young ones your very best. All while knowing that the only way to achieve the desired goal is to keep going day after day after day. For all the graduates in the room, countless hours were spent pouring into a degree that at one time was just a simple seed of an idea. But with much persistence and perseverance, it became the reality that it is today. A chapter that for many of us we have been ready to close, yet not fully knowing what awaits us on the other side of tonight. Again, I anticipate many of you can relate. Eventually you ran the race or your children grew, and similarly, with time and persistence, you too accomplished the task. Angela Duckworth spent much of her work studying children and adults in a variety of settings. In every setting, her question was, who is successful here and why? In all her research, one significant predictor stood above the rest as a predictor of success. She goes on to describe that it wasn't social intelligence, it wasn't good looks, physical health, and it wasn't IQ. It was grit. Grit is passion and perseverance for very long-term goals. Grit is having stamina. Grit is being committed to your future day in and day out, not just for the week, not just for the month, but for years, and working really hard to make that future a reality. Grit is living life like it's a marathon and not a sprint. Graduates, look around you. You are the living proof that grit exists, and with your work ethic, commitment, and perseverance, the future looks brighter than ever before. I want you guys to remember what this moment right here feels like, but not to forget the rest of you in the room. This task isn't often completed alone. I wholeheartedly believe that sometimes all you need is one person in your life who says, "You've got this, I believe in you," and you will find courage and ability to do things in your life that you never would have done before. Graduates, look around you again, but this time at the people who are here celebrating with you tonight. It's my assumption that the reaching of this goal didn't come without the support of people who care immensely about you and who have invested in you throughout these years of your life. I encourage you to thank those people, whether here in this room with you tonight or not. Call them up or pull them aside and directly acknowledge how their support in your life led you to this moment here tonight. And for all of us, graduating or not, let this be your initiative to be the person who says to another, "You've got this, I believe in you," and then sit back and be amazed at what unfolds around you. So, tonight we celebrate. We celebrate the hard work, dedication, and grit it took in getting here. We celebrate all the people who have supported us along the way, and we eagerly anticipate what lies ahead for each of these amazing and incredibly driven graduates in the room tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wunderlich. We have a lot of doctors in the room today, don't we? So, graduates, I offer my heartiest congratulations to all of you at this very, very special moment. And we know that a graduate education is always a team effort. So we're here also to thank all of your families, your friends, your mentors, your teachers, and anybody else that's helped you along the way. Right now, I'd like you to take a moment, when I say so, stand up, find the people in this room, and they're yelling for you, so I know they're here, and give them a big round of applause for all the support they've given you. Please, graduates, stand up and thank your friends and family. As you, our doctoral candidates, move on to new pursuits, we thank you for working so diligently on your professional education and for choosing the University of Iowa for your training. You've contributed significantly to our educational and our scholarly excellence here as engaged seminar participants, as collaborators on research and scholarly activities, and many of you also taught in the classroom and helped our students learn. As you've contributed greatly to our local communities as well. So we thank you for all you've done for the state, for the nation, and more importantly, for all you're going to do as you go out and make a big difference in the world. As new doctoral graduates, you're at the forefront of change. That change is only going to accelerate, both in your professional careers and in society at large. I know that the intellectual growth and professional skills that you've developed here at Iowa will help you adapt to, in fact, lead that change. I look forward to seeing how you will contribute to a better future for us all. Even though we're saying farewell, you, of course, will always be a part of us. Your work will always remain as part of our foundation of excellence. So I'm going to ask three things of you as we say goodnight for the evening. First, wear your black and gold in every occasion that you can. And I can promise you if you have a tiger hawk anywhere on that outfit, you're going to get a Go Hawks from somebody out there. Second, come back to campus and visit us as often as possible. Visit your mentors, visit the staff that helped you, visit the departments, the units, and the colleges that brought you to this point. And third, please continue to support and advocate for higher education today. We need that from you, especially at this point in time. So, yeah, that's worth a clap, I think. Thank you. I agree. So once again, congratulations, good luck, and best wishes for great success in the wonderful years ahead of you. We are very, very proud of you. Thank you. Go Hawks!